Right. I don't know what to say here.
Me neither. I don't know if anyone does. He and I, we had plans together. Find the archive, the Nodasterthalin. Get back what made us who we were, what was stolen from us. But now, Syrion's gone. Because of what that thing knew, what it told him. And maybe it should be gone too.
The archive's just a source of knowledge. It didn't act on that knowledge. Inaris did.
Right, but that knowledge is still dangerous, isn't it? The Evanuris were warlords, slavers, because of the things that the archive can teach. What if the Venatori find it, or worse?
Sounds like you've made your mind up.
But the gods weren't our people, we were, and are. They were healers, philosophers, caretakers. We can be that again with what the archive can teach. It's not all good, but it's not all bad either. Everything they could be again, our people's future, on my shoulders.
Whatever choice you make, I've got your back, all the way.
I know, and it helps. I just don't want to make the wrong choice.
Sometimes the only wrong choice is not choosing at all.
Then tell me, Rook, what would you do?
What we were is important, and we should remember it. But some of that knowledge should stay buried. Enough that the archive should be freed.
Makes sense. I get it. Define ourselves by who we are, not who we were. Okay, I'll free it.
When?
Soon. But I need to say goodbye. To it, I mean. Is that weird?
No. You and Syrian look for it together. I can understand why it's hard to let go of.
I guess I'm saying goodbye to him too. Finally. Okay. I need some time. Alone. I'll talk to you later, Rook.
There's something I need to do, back home.
Everything all right?
Yeah, just chasing Aelia. It brings a lot up. If you're around, maybe. I'd take the company.
Sure thing, Nev.
This is where we eat.
I see.
Shathan, it's good to see you again.
My child wished to show me where she now lived.
I made food. Here. Armada Special. It's what the pirates eat when they come to port.
This is too rich for me. Perhaps you could prepare some vegetables.
Fine.
A few weeks in your company, and my child has lost what little civility she had.
The Armada Special actually has a long cultural history behind it.
It is meat and cheese on bread. It is the essence of her vein. Of course Evitash would like it. This is what I face for removing her from the Qun.
Could you just try to show some affection to your child?
I do not need your instruction to show kindness to Evitash.
Well, what do you need? Give me a hint, because right now nothing Tash does is good enough.
Is that how it appears to you?
Yes.
I was never taught how to be a mother. Under the Qun, children are raised by those suited to such pursuits. I trained as a scholar. I was taught to think critically, to analyze without passion, and correct mistakes. You need not tell me that I am an inadequate mother. I am aware.
Then why did you leave?
When I see my child in danger, I act.
Here, vegetables.
Thank you.
So, I'm non-binary.
What does that mean?
It means I don't feel like a man or a woman.
If you are neither a man nor a woman, then what are you?
Non-binary. I just said, and I'm going to use they instead of she from now on.
If this is because I have criticized your dress or your manners...
It isn't!
Under the Qun, the term for one whose gender does not match the one given to them at birth was a Qunaflock. Perhaps you are like that.
Why do you have to keep picking at it? Why can't you just be happy for me?
Evitash, Chakra Toebra.
So I'm supposed to struggle with who I am? Even if I don't feel like I fit, even if I feel wrong?
No, you misunderstood.
Then say it better! Why am I never enough for you?
I will go. Thank you for inviting me to your home. Panahedan.
Tash, I'm so sorry.
No. It's okay.
Tash?
I'm not hiding anymore. How she takes it is her problem.
You sure?
Yeah. Come on. Don't let food go to waste.
Hey, Rook. Have time for something outside the lighthouse? I was going to head to Arlithan with the sun. See a real sky again. You're welcome to join us.
Thanks again for talking with me. Being non-binary feels... good. And so does being more Ravani. Feels good to just own it.
Do you remember, Rook, when I mentioned another ceremony I must perform at the Memorial Gardens? The time has come. I was hoping you'd accompany me again.
More grave lighting?
No, this would be a more personal visit, whenever you've time.
The Minrathous Wall of Light.
A light to remember the dead.
Unless the family lacks mages to keep them lit. Or the money for one. Then you're left in the dark. To Vintir's subtlety. This was Brahms.
Rana's old partner.
His light was out when I got here. I should have been back sooner.
Don't do that to yourself.
Rook,
Just trust me on this one.
I'm stopping Alia.
Looks like we had the same idea.
Rana.
He read serials between assignments. Romance. The last one ended on a cliffhanger. He was sure he knew the ending. I never checked if he was right.
I'm sure you could find the final chapters.
I know. I'm not sure I want to.
Pretending it ends well. We can give him that.
You're not the only one chasing Alia. I've tracked some of her followers. They aren't quick to talk. Most said I'd be saved soon. But I did get the name of a place. Sanctum Lucican.
Ominous formal name, tied to Elganon. Off to a good start.
You forgot the catch.
It's an old temple. A lost one. If there's a record of its location, I can't find it.
It's more than we had. I can track this down.
And you'll tell me? Look, I know who else you work with, what they might suggest, but what are you going to do?
What I have to.
Docktown needs to see...
What? Magisters who look the other way? Bribed Templars? Venatori who walk?
They see you.
Is that all? Docktown needs protection, not an example.
Brom's light. Thanks.
Sure.
Trouble coming.
Rook.
Picnic, huh? Not how I pictured hanging out with a monster hunter.
Evka and Antoine's doing. They told me after all the Wardens have been through, and what's ahead, I should take a break.
I'm surprised you actually listened.
You know how sad Antoine can look?
So what did you pack for the picnic?
Emmerich helped me brew a gingerwort truffle tea. I thought we'd see what all the fuss is about.
Has Emmerich actually tried this tea out yet?
He looked it up in some books. Says people used to drink it all the time.
And lived to tell about it?
Bottoms up. That's not bad.
It's, gingery, but also garlic, hints of mushroom, and, something else. Oh, well, I've never eaten a worm, but yeah, it is a little earthy. Wait, what? There, Davrin.
What?
Hassan just talked to me.
Huh? What did he say?
No, not that. What you said before.
Emmerich said Ginger Ward might have some kind of magical properties.
More than mine.
Maybe it affects some people more than others. You all right, Rook?
Worms to you too, Hassan.
Worms?
Yeah, you wouldn't get it. It's between me and Hassan.
You want to dig some up for him? Be my guest.
I'll skip that. Thanks for getting me out of the lighthouse, Davarin. And with good company.
Got us at a distance.
I'd be happy to assist on the next journey.
Well, that's done.
Now, what do you have to say for yourself?
Did I miss something?
Since we're here to gather flowers for the dead, I thought I'd teach Manfred some plant names. But I just caught him attempting to wade into a rose bush.
Emmerich, how could you stay annoyed at that face? Skull.
Oh, Manfred. Whatever will happen to you if I pass on?
If?
There's something I'd like to talk about. Do you know what a lich is, Rook?
Lich. That's Old Tavine for corpse, isn't it?
A lich is a mage transformed into one of the undead while retaining their true, original consciousness. The idea fascinated me when I was younger. For years, I researched and experimented, spoke with spirits and mages. Then, eventually, I found them.
Who?
The Lich Lords of the Grand Necropolis. Necromancers before me who'd transformed themselves into true living dead.
Well, didn't need to sleep tonight.
They're unlikely to visit your slumber. The Liches are the great protectors of the necropolis, bulwarks against forces that threaten creation. After years of tests and rituals, they granted me my desire, the right to attempt lichdom.
That's great for a necromancer, right?
It is a singular opportunity.
Good?
Lichdom is an incredible honor. Immortality, prestige, the most hallowed ranks of the Watchers, as well as a chance to be of service past my allotted years. But there are considerations. Come, we have flowers to gather for the dead.
Okay, but I've got questions.
Blue creepvine. This will do nicely.
Emmerich, aren't most undead just random spirits inside corpses?
Liches are different. It wouldn't be a spirit acting in my name. My true consciousness would be housed in my departed flesh.
How?
The Order must keep some secrets. Moon blossoms, famed in verse and song.
Smells like perfume. Do liches have a sense of smell?
I've been told that while some of my senses will dull, others will become available. Other than that, I can't say if the flowers would still hold their bloom for me. Lichdom serves a purpose. There are dark things in creation, threats to both our world and the Fade. The Liches of the Necropolis have the insight and the abilities to oppose them.
And you're joining them when?
Certain elements have held me back. There's no ready instructions for lichdom. The steps must be discovered on one's own over years to be fully understood.
Does the spell to become a lich kill you, or do you have to?
No, mercifully, that falls to another watcher. After my death, my soul will be drawn back into my body instead of moving on to whatever lies beyond.
So, what's holding you back from lichdom?
Even with all my preparations, there's a chance I could die permanently during the rites. What cowardice! A promise of immortality, an end to all my fears, and the final veil stays my hand.
Emmerich, you've spent your life preparing for this, and it could still fail.
You say nothing that hasn't hounded me. Traditionally, candidates for lichdom face one final sifting of the soul. If they avoid it, you saw my old colleague.
Hezenkos? She's a lich.
A half-lich, though that hasn't diminished her powers. Until I stop her plans, I won't possess the peace of mind for lichdom. Why don't you select the next flowers, Rook?
Sure. So, what's a half-lich exactly?
Johanna attempted the rites of lichdom and failed.
What about the sifting of a soul that Hezenkos avoided?
The spirits of the necropolis judge whether a candidate is worthy of the power and responsibility of lichdom.
How'd she become a lich without it?
I shared some knowledge when we were colleagues. She apparently put together more than I knew. It would be just like her to skip the rituals, the cleansings, the preparations of the soul.
For a watcher, Hezenkos is pretty harsh on spirits.
We made allowances because of her discoveries. Too many. Spirits are not things to be disposed of.
You really care about them.
They're so susceptible to the world's whims, Rook. Some spirits are dangerous, but how quickly most respond to a bit of kindness or care, or simple attempt to understand. For all she's done, I can't condemn Johanna for attempting lichdom. That freedom from mortality, that divorce from fear, and of course, time to read all of one's books.
Every mage's dream.
But how she's abused her abilities. Are my intentions enough to fare better?
Worrying's a good sign.
We have enough flowers. There's something I'd like to show you. Here we are.
Oh, so these flowers are for...
Yes. If you could place them on the graves, please.
In memory of Rupert and Eleanora Volkarin. They walk eternity hand in hand.
After I became a watcher, I erected a proper shrine to my parents. When I come to talk, I like to think they listen. Well, don't be shy. Introduce yourself.
Rook, it's a pleasure. Do you remember your parents?
Some memories are bright. Others are akin to those dim early morning dreams one gets sometimes. Lately, I wondered what they'd think of our current course, the choices ahead.
Your lichdom.
What would they have wanted me to be?
I can tell you what I think they'd want you to be.
What's that?
Happy. You could always speak with your folks, couldn't you?
My parents last saw me as a boy. By the time I mastered my corpse whispering, I was a man. If I woke them, there might be a flash of recognition, or... Besides, if I speak to too many other spirits, Manfred might grow jealous.
Can't have that.
He'd be impossible, I agree.
The Antam do whatever they want. They used comic on civilians, on your own people.
And how precisely would you have suggested I stop them?
Call on the crows? Ask for our help?
So you can murder a few Antam here and there, giving them an excuse to retaliate against even more citizens? We have enough trouble already, or have you forgotten the Blight?
I can't believe you're defending them.
I am not defending anyone, Jacobus.
You're letting them be a part of this? My cousin died because the governor didn't stop the Antam from taking over.
Jacobus?
I'm fine. But I'm not going to be a part of this.
Well, now that that unpleasantness is dealt with, about your mysterious informant.
Whoever they are, they know the Antam and Treviso.
Your message made it sound like this informant also knows where the gods are staging their ritual.
Treviso does not need this troublemaker. This should be left to proper officials.
It very much concerns Rook. We have a contact who offers access to the Butcher and privileged information on the gods.
A chance to find your gods and to free the city. A prize for both our causes.
Both are important. Strong with the crows, strong against the gods.
Someone else seems to think so. The contact knows the city and the Antam.
How do you know it's for real?
They gave us patrol patterns. Dreadnought arrivals. Their information is real.
And you didn't share this with me?
People in this city continue to sicken and die. Do you not have other more pressing matters to attend to?
So where are we meeting?
Near the field hospital, where the market used to be.
And they asked for me, not you or Viago.
Even with what happened to Treviso, your fight against the gods is spoken of by many. You have respect, and no small admiration.
From who, though? That's the question.
Hypothetically, what if I'm walking into an ambush?
I would prepare for one.
Not everything is an adder in the wardrobe.
I said to prepare. I didn't say not to go.
I'll talk with this mystery contact.
And the rest of us will hope not to get caught in your crossfire again.
If we can remove the Butcher and weaken the Antam, then perhaps Treviso can start to heal from the Blight. With luck, this informant is our key to that. Find them, Rook. Hear what they have to say. Our informant is near the field hospital, Rook.
They said you'd know them on sight.
Remember, there are injured people there. Don't damage anything.
So much suffering. The gods are sending a warning to other cities. Okay. Iago and Taya said our informant is somewhere in the market. Let's find them. I just hope their supposed information about the god's location is actually true.
Rook, I presume.
The Butcher.
There's no need for that. Treviso is the trap, not this meeting. Please. So tense. I promise, I'll signal when it's time to fight.
Strange way to ambush someone.
I don't have to ambush anyone. You think I couldn't just march on the crows? Scattered Antom flock to me. I have the soldiers to raise your casino and every inch of this city.
But I'll bet there's no profit in actually winning.
There's money being made by the occupation, but not by me. I said Treviso was the trap, and I meant it. The jewel of Antiva. She sings even while caged. Such purity in every stone. It's trapped my heart. I love this city.
You have a strange way of showing your affection.
I conquered it. I didn't betray it. Not like the cattle born here. You know there are traitors here. They ransom their own city. Literal gods stalk the land, but these filth worship their own purses. But you're different. You and the crows stay true to your roles. It means something when you die, and even more when you kill. You're as much a work of art as this city. And you want a secret from me.
You knew I was coming. Cut to the chase and tell me where the gods want their ritual.
The gods, they give strength. But all they ask in return is everything. I can feel their corruption. I can hear their whispers. They're calling for a ritual. If I give in, I'll know where you need to go. But I will lose my jewel. My city! So... you live in a casino. Let us make a game of this. I will become what the gods want. Welcome their whispers. Meet me and show me if the crows deserve my city.
The Butcher was our contact, and he's... letting himself fall to the plate. Finish them off. We need to go after the Butcher. So the Butcher wants us to prove we're worthy of saving Treviso. That's what's happening.
By turning himself.
Everyone's acting like normal. Like the Butcher hasn't gone nuts.
Who'd believe it? I don't.
Save it to keep your head down, I guess.
I see what you need. Prove you deserve it.
Hear the shift in his voice? He's changing.
My Treviso. Those abandon you to the traitors who gave you to me.
There's the Butcher. He's a Reaver and fighting his own Antam.
How's that thing going to tell us about the gods?
We have to hope he's still in there.
I see you, Rook, and I see the ritual. Match me, fight me, they say. Final ritual, you said cure. I see Tearstone Island. The ritual, Tearstone Island.
He's gone. And he named the ritual site. Tearstone Island.
The Butcher kept his word.
Yeah, he's a prince among men. At least he gave us what we came for, though.
Yes, truly the Butcher was a paragon of honor and virtue, and we are all devastated to see him go.
Eventually.
And now you have a location for your final pointless confrontation. The gods are at Tearstone Island. Isn't that what you wanted? A chance to die a hero's death? So go. Leave Treviso to those who deserve it. What's left of it, anyways.
You godless traitor! You weren't powerless against the Butcher, you were working with him!
I don't expect you to understand this, but sometimes governance means not showing your entire hand.
You sold Treviso out to the Antam.
I did what I did to help this city, to save it, to keep my people from being slaughtered like cattle by the Antam. And you let us suffer and sicken in favor of Minrathous. I gave up the crows, you gave up the whole city. Treviso is dying, Rook, and its killer wears your face.
I've met some terrible people lately, even without counting Elganon and Gillenane. You're right up there in some pretty august company. What if Treviso's people could have fought back? Could have rallied to the city's defense? But the Antam kept them weak, let them die. That happened because of a choice you made. I live with the consequences of my decisions. Can you say the same?
You live with nothing, Rook. You have the luxury of distraction, of defining all your actions by the greater good. So take your team to Tearstone Island. Face Elganon and Gillenane, strike them down. Or don't. Either way, Treviso is dying. But it's still mine. Leave its funerary rites to one who cared enough about this city to make themselves its villain.
It makes sense now. Every decision they made shows it.
The governor betrayed us all. And for what? A city that is sick, and whose recovery will be measured in years.
I take it you heard? The Butcher's dead.
And in his place is the traitor we knew was lurking. And the Antam fell in line?
Whatever the Antam are looking for, Eventually's giving it to them.
The Blight changes things. Even the Antam fear it. The governor has given them a clear purpose. They were more cunning than I thought.
If only we'd figured out it was Eventually before all this started.
I wish the same. But regret does neither of us good.
We knew someone had delivered Treviso to the Butcher. You brought us their name.
The hand that leashed Treviso. The Butcher was the mouth, but the hand was Eventually all along. They think they have the power in the Antam, and a network doing their will.
But we have the face of our enemy.
Eventually will be hiding, so we will hound their Antam and make them desperate.
When the governors show themselves again, we end this.
We'll stop Evenchi.
The gods. Did you learn where they will be?
Tearstone Island. Evenchi confirmed it before they left.
We know the time to face Elgar'nan and Gillenane approaches, but it will not take us long to find Evenchi.
If you truly want to help Treviso recover from the Blight, help us deal with the governor.
We'll let you know when we'll make our move. And after that, Treviso will be free.
I need to get the team around the table and talk about what's next.
Tearstone Island. That's where Elgar'nan and Gillenane will perform their ritual.
With an eclipse, those two can finish their dagger, then tear open the Fade. After that, we've witnessed the horrors Gillenane creates with even a trickle of the Blight. What happens with a flood?
Next eclipse is a month away. That's not a lot of time.
Getting past the Antam Navy won't be easy. They'll be on high alert.
We'd need our own fleet to get past them, which we don't have.
If anyone can find a way around that fleet, it's us. Everything seems impossible at the beginning. Just fight one battle at a time. Varric told me that.
Damn right, kid.
A single boat can sneak past a blockade. We just need to find something that floats.
The Antam fleet may not spot us, but the gods see much farther.
Worse, they know about us specifically. They'll be waiting.
Let's make sure there's too many distractions for them to spot us.
Sounds like you have a plan.
Harding, reach out to our allies. Wardens, Veil Jumpers, all of them. Tell them to be ready to start swinging. We start enough fires, make some noise, and the gods will look everywhere for us. Except at their front door.
It's worth a shot, but our allies aren't strong enough to fight a prolonged battle. We could be signing their death warrants, but it's the best plan we've got.
That takes care of the approach. But what about when we get there? We'll have two gods waiting. Who knows how many Antam? We'll need to be at our best. Question is, are we there yet?
We've still too much unfinished business nipping at our heels. There's time before the next eclipse. It's best we use it.
I'll send off messages to our allies. They'll be ready.
What about the Inquisitor? I know he's busy fighting in the south, but this doesn't end until the gods are dead. He knows that.
Saving the world? Sounds like the Inquisitor.
Reach out to him. Morrigan, too. We could use their help. We're not ready, but we can be. Weeks until the next eclipse gives us time. Let's use it wisely.
Agreed.
Get some rest, then we'll take care of outstanding business.
Hey, I got word from my mother. She wants to talk.
Have you talked with her since?
Nope, not since I told her I was non-binary. But her note said she wanted to talk about that tablet we found, the old Kunari one. Of course that's what she wants to talk about. We can go whenever you're good.
I'll let you know. Anna, hello. I assume Vorgoth's not far,
We have her, Rook. We have her. We know exactly what she's planning.
The professor asked us to research the artifact that came into the possession of Johanna Hezenkos.
She carries a gloaming lantern.
That bad as it sounds?
They were fashioned in ages past by unscrupulous necromancers. The lanterns steal and concentrate life.
Johanna could use it to leech life from hundreds at a time. An endless source of power.
I never studied necromancy in Tevinter, but isn't that stupidly dangerous?
Johanna is, unfortunately, skilled enough to make an attempt, but we've found her.
She has returned to Blackthorn Manor.
Hezenkos intends to hold a soiree.
That can't be her whole plan.
No, but I propose a small group infiltrate Johanna's lair while she's distracted and destroy her lantern.
Let's do it.
Vorgoth and I must return to the necropolis.
Hunt well.
If only we could make Johanna see reason.
You tried before. She seems stubborn.
Perhaps that's why she attained immortality, while I quake on the threshold. If I make my own bid for lichdom. Oh, it's no use pretending this hasn't stirred up that old dread of my own mortality.
You could also be having a normal reaction to facing danger every other day.
No, it shouldn't be this crushing, this prevalent. No. Johanna was never beset by these sort of fears.
Little fear's healthy. You'll feel better once we crash her lair and destroy that lantern. Promise.
Hey, Rook. Irlin and Strife reached out. They finished preparations for Syrian's funeral. I could use someone to come with me. If you're able, just let me know, okay?
Sure thing.
Strength earns mastery.
Rook, I've compiled the last reports from an informant. You remember our talk with Rana? She had a lead on Alia's location. A place called Sanctum Lucican.
A lost Tevinter temple, right? Does this mean you found it?
I'm pretty damn sure.
Alia's hideout. Not sure if I should be excited or worried. Either way, I'm there.
Worried. And I figured.
So, where is this place?
The Minratha's Catacombs, an underground temple to the god of night. It was sealed off and forgotten under a derelict building outside the Thread Market. I've had an eye on the catacombs. Alias haunted them before, but they span the city, endless twists, hidden passages. It's too much to sweep alone. Thanks to Rana's information, I was able to drop the right hints, ask the right questions. Now we've got a sanctum.
Then I guess I get to meet Alia in person.
It's time she showed her face. Docktown's on edge. People are missing. The Threads are putting up a fight against Alia's followers, but they can't last forever. Alia's a powerful blood mage now. If I let her finish the ritual, no more chances.
So, what's our next move?
Meet at the Swan, put the last pieces in place after that. We'll see.
Good, you're here.
What happened?
A note from Viago. Katerina is alive.
What? How?
Zara's carcass told the truth. Ilario didn't arrange Katarina's death because he spirited her away. Katarina has been a prisoner in her own villa, with Ilario as her keeper.
What matters is that she's alive, and we know where she is. So let's go get her.
Ilario is making his move. He's hosting the Talons of the Crows at Via della Morte. All of them.
That's a good way to get himself killed. Unless he's got something up his sleeve.
Maybe he thinks his blood magic will be enough to control them all. We have to do this carefully. Ilario has to be expecting us.
You think he knows that we know about him and Algernon?
He wouldn't be avoiding us otherwise. Be ready for a trap.
It'll be slow going through Treviso.
Not for us. We're going by water, and Spite is keen to get this done.
Then let's make this a night to remember.
Rook, Efka and Antoine sent word. A warden's arrived at Lavendel with news. He might have a lead on Isaiah.
Then we've got to get to Lavendel.
Agreed. Thanks.
Hey, what's shaping?
No one says, what's shaping anymore?
I thought it was a dwarf thing.
Yeah, if you lived in Orzammar 20 years ago.
Wow, just trying to be nice, and what do I get? Sass.
Aw, well, I appreciate it. And I'm doing okay. I think I just need some time to think and sort things out.
You can talk to your friends about it. I hear that helps.
It's already helping. You checking on me, I mean. I still remember every moment of it. Suffocating under the weight of the Titan's pain. I couldn't see a way past it. And all I wanted was for the rest of the world to suffer too. And then everyone was there. And that's when I knew we'd be okay. That I'd be okay.
I know you would have done the same for me.
You helped me remember who I was. Not some Titan, but just Lace Harding. And yes, if you ever need me like I needed you, I will be there. That is my promise to you. You know, I think about Solus sometimes. He's been trapped by his mistakes for eons. When you're blinded by sorrow and pain, you need someone to help you past it.
But he's too proud for that. He believes he's alone, even when he doesn't have to be.
He'll never ask for help, but that doesn't mean we can't offer it anyway. Do you think he can be helped?
The Inquisitor and Solus were friends. I know he wants his friend back. He's reached out. All Solus has to do is take the offered hand, the simplest thing, and yet no one's beyond help, Rook. No one. I have to believe it. Or none of this matters.
We offer this form to the sky, the sea, and the earth. Thanks, Rook, for coming. I don't think I could have done this alone.
No one should have to deal with this sort of thing alone.
I guess I'm still not used to it. Having someone in my life like you, it's nice. Especially now, it doesn't make it hurt less, but it makes me feel like I can deal with the hurt. You know? Anyways, we need to light 3 more braziers. Each one represents an aspect of the self. It's been this way for centuries. It's part of who the Dalish are. Maybe the archive could have told me why before I freed it, but it's what I know and what I want.
I know it's hard, but you can do this.
I already buried him once. At least this time, it's for real. Let's head to the first brazier. Okay, the first brazier should be ahead somewhere.
How far?
However far it needs to be, I guess. I wonder what we lost by freeing the archive, I mean.
Besides an opportunity to be called witless fool a dozen times a day?
Definitely not gonna miss that.
Belara,
Hey, Irilyn.
look, if you need to talk, let me know. It's great to see how happy Rook makes you. Just, you know, if you need another friend, I'm here. Anyways, time to light the first brazier.
A third, we give to the sky, to share your story with the sun and moon. Feels a little weird saying that one with everything we know now. It's not the ancient elf's fault that Elgernon is, well, what he is. Did I make the right choice? Freeing the archive? Losing that piece of who we were?
Not every question has a good answer, but who we are is just as important as who we were.
Syrian didn't want our people to be defined by our struggle. He wanted to go back to who we were before. He said that's when we were ourselves all the way through. But that struggle, it happened. It changed us into who we are now. Just wish it were easier to know. Okay. Next brazier.
It's unusual to see all these obstacles in the way of a funeral. Death's hard to deal with, though, no matter where you come from.
Each obstacle's supposed to represent grief and moving past it, literally. But yeah, it's a little weird, probably. Syrian would have laughed at it. Okay, Nev, what are you doing here?
What? You know I show up for you, Belle. They'd only let one of us come, though. The rest send their regards, especially Emmerich.
I'm just... Wow. Thank you, Nev. And everyone else.
Hey, As long as I'm around, you've got family. All right, go on and light the brazier.
A third we give to the sea, to share your story with the heart of the world. We always talked about visiting other lands. Syrian and me, I mean. Does the rest of the world look like Thedas? Shattered by the Evanurus? What would things have been like if they'd never existed?
The past isn't just one thing. It's all the little choices and events that add up.
Who knows what choices we would have made? If they would have been better or worse. But I keep thinking the Elven were the first people the Evanurus enslaved. They broke us and kept us broken. We survived in spite of them, not because of them. But it's still hard knowing what I know. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, one more brazier to go. I'd always get the words wrong. In the rituals, I mean. Syrian would laugh at me. Well, not in a mean way, and he'd help me. It meant a lot.
So why are there people waiting after the obstacles?
It's a reminder that on the other side of...
I thought Dalish clans planted trees for their funerals.
This is what we've always done. That I remember, anyway. Well, we didn't use ancient magic before. First time I went to a funeral was for my grandmother. I was 7, had to climb through a bunch of fallen trees. By the time I got to the end, I was dirty and tired and sad, but not as sad as I thought I'd be. So I guess it worked. At least a little bit.
Balara, I'm sorry about Syrian.
Thanks, Strife. I'm glad you're here.
He was one of us, even if he never officially joined.
He died protecting Arlathan, even knowing the cost.
Saving the world. Seems like it might run in the family. Time to light the last brazier.
And a third returns to the soil, to blossom once again into life. And that's it. A Dalish funeral, or one version, at least. It hasn't changed much in centuries, from and to the earth.
I'm sorry this has been so hard for you, Balara.
You know, I thought I'd be sadder, but I'm okay, mostly. It hurts, but a little bit less every day. Freeing the archive, was it the right choice? Does it mean Syrian died for nothing?
Well, you sent Anaris back to whatever nightmare he came from. That's not nothing.
That's a really good point. He wanted to reclaim our past, find the truth of who we were. He never got that, never found out what he wanted. But he did the right thing. And I got to say goodbye. That's worth something, right? Now I have to live my life for him, for me, and for our people.
That's all any of us can do. Just keep living and putting one foot in front of the other.
It's just hard. Sometimes. Harder than it should be. We'll figure out who we were, who we are, and we'll do it the right way. It's time we let the ghosts of the past rest. I hope you've found peace, and that we'll meet again. Goodbye, Syrian. I love you. Thanks again for dinner last night, Lucanus. That cream sauce.
A little mustard makes the difference. Though, my supplier in Treviso is...
Oh, so... Hey, what's the best thing you've ever eaten? Something fancy?
We ate a prisoner's nightmare. He dreamed a bloodthirsty tree with 10,000 branches. She was asking me, Spite.
I hope Taynor is all right. I haven't seen her in days.
So focused on the attacks.
Okay, so the plan is basically to sneak around, find Hezenkos's lantern, and smash it. There's quite a crowd over in the manor.
Johanna's gathering. If she's mingling there, we'll be spotted. Fortunately, we have someone who could pass as a servant.
Manfred, can you pour fancy wine and nod? Send him in.
Right, Manfred. You're to find Johanna's guests and help us gather information on where her workshop might be. We'll be watching in case anything occurs.
Something's going to occur.
Once we find and destroy Johanna's lantern, we'll end whatever she's planning. Hopefully before she introduces the lantern to her guests.
There should be enough time for Manfred to blend in as a servant.
Let's find a place inside to observe him, quietly.
Right. Let's find another way in.
Johanna's last guests must already be in attendance.
There's a lot of people here. Hezenkos must be planning to drain their souls with her lantern.
What'll she do with them?
Raise more undead, I'd wager. But no ordinary revival would require such a massive store of magic.
Sounds like the party's in that main hall where we confronted Hezenkos.
Perfect. We can watch Manfred discreetly from the balconies.
And see if Hezenkos... has that lantern on her.
There's Manfred. And Johanna.
But no lantern.
Now, you were saying about a shrine in the manor.
Yes, a shrine revealed by a spectral tome, which, as an expert, I could read if our host ever lets me into the library.
An ancestral shrine? I could question the deceased there about the location of Johanna's lantern.
Well, the book can lead us to the shrine. Let's hit the library. The library's to the east, right? Where we closed Hezenkos's portal into the Fade.
What brought her all the way back here again?
Johanna must have a workshop hidden here. Likely where she's prepared whatever she plans to empower with this lantern.
Watch it. We've got dead people.
Johanna's creatures. We must deal with them quickly. I'd expected Johanna to post more guards.
Maybe she didn't want to scare her guests. Let's see if we can find that book pointing to the ancestral shrine. Nothing about a shrine here.
And what's a romance doing under geography? Hmm?
What about this? That book just snarled at me.
Ah, there's our spectral tome. Well done.
It's not opening.
One must be delicate. That guest of Johanna's claimed to be an expert in spectral literature.
And was interested in the shrine. Let's have Manfred hand him the book, see what he says. Were you waiting for us? Manfred, take this tome to the man asking about the shrine, please.
Don't worry. We'll watch from the balcony.
What's this? The Spectral Guide to Blackthorn Manor? There now. I only want to look up one thing. Ah, there is an ancestral shrine in the northwest wing.
Perfect. Let's go to the shrine.
Yes, the deceased there should be most helpful in finding Johanna's lantern. This way to the shrine.
Didn't anyone here stop and ask why Hezekiah was throwing a party? Your old friend doesn't seem like the sociable type.
Many a mage's besetting flaw is unexamined curiosity. And Johanna does possess a certain showmanship. It was all too easy to be drawn into those grand plans of hers.
I don't need a front row seat to whatever she's planning for a lantern full of stolen spirits, thanks.
The shrine's locked.
We must find a... Manfred?
What's he got there? Is this a key to the shrine?
Excellent, Manfred. Oh my. A body from the House of the Verheims, prepared during the Storm Age.
We can come back for it after.
Excellent idea.
Time to find Hezekiah. He's all yours, Emmerich.
By flame and seal, by light and flood. Open your eyes once more.
Who dares disturb?
Friends to the dead.
Friends, this one was abandoned, lost.
Emmerich, it's getting noisy.
He's unusually obstinate. Speak! Where is Hesenkos?
Prove yourselves. What claim have you to the deceased? A willing dead companion. This one concedes. Hesenkos makes a thing that should not be. Red tapestry. Look there.
Rook, did you hear that? Manfred just...
I know. Also, we should move.
Oh, he can talk. Manfred, say something else. Come now, you just spoke.
We have to go.
Yes, yes.
That red tapestry. This wall looks... Ha! Secret door.
Manfred, could you please squeeze through and open the door from the other side? Yes. Aha! I knew I didn't imagine him speaking.
How can Manfred talk now?
He began as a wisp that embodied what most wisps do. Curiosity. I knew he was learning quickly outside the necropolis, but this level of complexity is remarkable.
Hassan's enough racket for me.
It's a truly incredible achievement, Davrin. Good work, Manfred.
Hope this leads to where Hesenkos is keeping that lantern.
I can only imagine what he's planning to use it for.
Can't do this without a wisp.
shrine.
Dust is undisturbed. So how are those flowers still fresh?
This must lead to Johanna's workshop.
What's that through the wall?
Oh my word!
That's big.
And your little friends might worm your way to my heart.
Johanna, even half-lich, you can't control something as massive.
That glow on the skeleton up there. That's Hezenkoz's lantern.
Use the life stored in it to reanimate that monstrosity. Quickly, we must reach the lantern.
This is a revenge fest.
I was never one to refuse a long and complex grudge.
People from the party. You. Manfred.
How dare she! Johanna's stolen a chamber from the Grand Necropolis and transposed it under Blackthorn Manor.
That's like stealing Weishaupt.
The Necropolis's walls here are...
Don't think I can't sense your undead black sneaking about.
Oh, I wish Manfred had seen above.
They'll be fine. We'll handle
Manfred, there you are.
And can you release that ladder?
Thank you, Manfred. Now find somewhere safe.
There's the lantern. We're gonna free the spirits inside.
We must, before we can destroy it.
Like back when you were freeing those spirits Hezenkoz trapped in the manor. That took a lot out of you.
I must try, Rook.
Emmerich!
There are too many trapped spirits! I'm sorry. I can't. Another lash of power might end me.
What's that, Volkaren? Afraid to chance death for your precious spirits? For all your fine words on the subject, only I had the courage to risk my life for our art.
I've seen Emmerich face worse than you.
I'm not the one so paralyzed by fear I couldn't seize immortality.
Johanna! Listen to me! You're right! I've never overcome fear of that final dark. I miss having a friend that could.
Yes. Always the idealist.
I'm sorry Lichdom failed you. I swear I would have helped you had you come to me. But puppeting this creature...
Puppet? Puppet? Do you think I'm staying a failed lich? I won't command my greatest creation! I will become it! Scoffing colleagues, interfering Templars, inept rivals. You all have a place in my heart. And tonight you will fuel my ascension at the cost of your miserable lives.
Move!
You think you can stop me? Once I get rid of you, I will merge with my greatest work and conquer this city!
Emmerich, can she do that?
Yes! She's attempting full possession with the life of the people here.
We need to stop Hesenkos long enough to destroy that lantern.
With that much life inside it, the backlash could...
We don't have a choice.
Once I destroy you wretches, my union with my creation will be complete! Aren't you persistent? Fine! I'll go down there myself!
About time.
Silence! You myself if I must. It's touching that you brought your new friends to die with you, Volkaren. I'll be sure to bury you all in the same tomb!
This isn't working. We can't break the lantern.
You think I'd leave myself vulnerable to you? Enough playing! Your pointless lives will fuel my triumph!
I can't breathe! She's draining life from us. We must find shelter.
Right. You can't free the spirits in that lantern.
It might kill me and not even work. No living thing can approach it and... Manfred! Come back!
Any last words, Volkaren, before I... Ugh, you miserable little...
Manfred!
Kick her ass, Emmerich.
By the spirits bound here, night and shadow, light and blood.
What are you doing?
Let your chains loosen. Let the fade draw close.
You'll never succeed, you old fool!
I release you to the air.
No! You small-minded...
Emmerich, how's Manfred holding together?
We must go to the necropolis. His body could only take so much. But I underestimated him, Rook. What bravery in the heart of the dead. And how he grew. Manfred disobeyed me beautifully. He was his own soul at the end.
Can you bring him back?
I will ask.
Emmerich Volkaren. You were not expected so soon.
Did it just get colder?
You're in no danger, Rook. He's come to hear my plea. My lord, I come regarding Manfred, my fallen companion.
Yes, there are ways to return his spirit. But should you do this, Lichdom falls from your grasp.
What? Why?
Lichdom is long. If I'm to stand outside death, I must make peace with others passing through it.
What would we otherwise become? How many exceptions till tyranny? Revive him and remain mortal. Or let him slumber and join us.
Emmerich.
Manfred chose to help us. Am I too weak to accept his well-earned rest? I yearn for Lichdom, Rook. That leap into something greater, that everlasting light. Do I revive him and live out my days? Or do I honor death by letting him rest and protect this world through immortality?
Mortality's a hard price, but you'd miss Manfred.
Oh, of course I would. But a Watcher should be more accepting of loss, of grief, of his own death in turn.
You're braver than you know, Emmerich. You've always risked your life, against Hezenkos, against the gods.
Death's abyss always recedes with someone to brave it for.
I think facing a lot of things would be easier if Manfred was back.
Oh, he was fearless. He has so much potential, Rook. So far to grow.
Then help him do it.
You're absolutely right. I'll need your help. Rest easy, Manfred. We'll soon have you back amongst the living.